Alright, welcome back, guys. This is going to be episode 8 of Driven by Christ Auto, and today is a special day. Today is Thanksgiving. I know it is early in the morning whenever y'all are probably, y'all's parents are probably getting up probably about this early and starting on food and everything, but it's a real important day today for me in real life because in my ministry work, we are actually going to be feeding the homeless shelter in Monroe, Louisiana. So that's a really big movement for our ministry group. I never thought that I'd be serving a hot meal to homeless people, at a homeless shelter. I know that they'll be thankful because I know if I was homeless, boy, I'd be wanting some of the food that I cooked. But anyways, before we get started on today's episode, we're going to take a word from our God. Gracious God, thank you for showering so many blessings on me. Everything I have is a gift from you, including each breath I take. I think about of inhaling your life continually, yet it is only when you breathed the breath of life into Adam that he became a living being. I sit quietly in your presence, thinking about each time I inhale and affirming my trust in you as I exhale. I found that the longer I do this, the more relaxed I become. Lord, please help me to appreciate and thank you for blessings that I often overlook. The birds, trees, light, colors, loved ones, and the daily comforts that we may soon forget because we're caught up in the world. The list is absolutely endless. The more I look for good things in my life, the clearer my vision becomes. Of course, my greatest gratitude is for the eternal life, which is mine because I believe in you, Jesus Christ. This is priceless. The forever gift fills me with increasing joy in your presence. In your generous name, Jesus, we want to give thanks for this day. Amen. All right. This is going to be coming from references from Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, John chapter 3, verse 16, and Psalms chapter 16, verse 11. Alright, guys, so that's the word of the day from our Lord. We just pulled up here at the shop. I was out here checking the oil in the old daily driver. This is the old beat up rag I drive back and forth from work to home. But you know what? This thing was a powerhouse, son. This is a Ford F-150 with a straight six in it. It was like the gas burner of the Cummins diesel engine, but as a gas. A 300 straight six was a really powerful truck. It could pull some stuff. Believe me, I've seen it happen. And this is also the vehicle we go out and we go tow our cars in. Lord have mercy, these cats are already tearing up stuff in the background. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the doors open. Yes, we are working on Thanksgiving Day. If I actually had a business, I would actually be open on Thanksgiving because, hey, somebody needs to be there for these guys whenever they break down on the side of the road. And we also want to give thanks to O'Reilly's, even in the game and in real life, because they are open today. If you are broke down and you need some help, O'Reilly Auto Parts is the place to go. Because whenever I used to work for them, I remember working on Thanksgiving. And I also remember being a store manager, and some of my employees wasn't so thankful to be working on Thanksgiving. They'd rather be at home with their families. I mean, yeah, we all would, but there's sacrifices that we have to make in our everyday life to, for the good of others. And the sooner you understand that, the easier your life will be. But if you always in a bad mood, like, oh, well, I didn't get to do this with my family, or I didn't do that, or, just not being grateful, man, it's always going to be a rough life. You got to look for the positives in it. So anyways, let's see. We know we got somebody broke down today. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, Jamie done already come through here and done turned on everything. She hanging out in the office right now. But we actually did Thanksgiving for my family this past weekend, so we could actually do the cooking for this homeless shelter. But let's go ahead and grab that customer. All right, oh, check it out. It's a Camaro too. All right, so good morning. Would you be able to help me? It's my first car. It might not be the perfect car, but it's mine. I've always dreamed about one like this, so I finally managed to save some cash. Hey, Jesus helped this person out already. He finally got his first car, and I would have liked to have this for a first car, especially if it was the Camaro with the LS motor in it. Son, you want to talk about leaving some rubber on the road. But anyways, we ain't talking about driving illegally and all that. Just we're talking about a drag strip. But it says it seems that I might have gotten a bit carried away. I have heard this doesn't dobe well. The salesman said that the brakes need to be repaired, but the rest is in perfect condition. This morning I heard a banging in the back and it pulls to the right, so we already know this car is going to need an alignment, but at least it's running. I hope it's nothing serious. I'll borrow some cash if necessary, but I hope it's just the brakes. I can't wait to hit the road again. Please do a full checkup and replace what you need. So this thing's going to be do what you need. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and take this order. We're going to bless this man today. He's right. It looks like car's in fairly good condition. Needs a little bit of cleanup done to it. You know, he done dropped off the car. He's gonna go check out a local museum in the racetrack that at the one where we race at on here. It's got a museum there for the Route 66 road, and Route 66 stretches across the United States. I've always wanted to take that road. But anyways, let's go ahead and get this customer's car. We fixing to do the full works to this. We're gonna bless somebody today. We are gonna go over. Oh yes, sir, and it does have the LS motor in here. It's even got a better one in it. It's got the dual overhead cam. This is like the Honda V8. It's got variable valve and VTEC on intake and exhaust, and plus it's a V8. So we're gonna do everything to this car. This man ain't gonna even recognize this car whenever he gets back. That's the type of work we're doing here at Driven by Christ Auto. So let's get this thing. I wanted to do a full visual walk around. Y'all get a good look at it, because it ain't gonna look the same no more. Alright, we gotta get it cleaned up first. Can't work on anything if it's dirty, guys. You gotta get it cleaned up. It's a good habit to start if you got your own shop. You don't want to be bringing in all that dirt and mud and everything else stuck all over the vehicle. So let's go ahead and get this thing open. Clean out the interior. Looks like maybe the interior was already pretty clean, but we're fixing to fully restore this car. And it showed the picture of it being red, and I'm pretty sure that this boy would love to see his car a performance red, like a metallic red, and that's what we're going to give to him today. So let's get this car on rack 1, and we're going to go ahead and start stripping it down. We're going to take this hood off. Let's go ahead and throw the battery on charge. Alright, whoop, let's back out and make sure I got my mic set right. Alright, sorry about all that popping if it was making it. Alright, get this battery on charge. Hold on, guys. I gotta get up and turn down this heater, son. It is hot. Wow, it didn't turn off or anything. We're gonna have to watch that thing, girl. We liable to have the shop burned down. But anyways, we'll go ahead and start pulling everything off. This guy was grateful that he saved up for this money for this vehicle, and he was happy with what he had. So we're gonna give him more. We're fixing to completely restore this car inside and out. I don't know about getting down into the engine, but we're gonna do what we can in the time that we got. So let me see. I'm fixing to. Y'all gonna have to keep up with me today, cause the quicker we can do this, the more excited the customer's gonna be. It looks like it's really good. Quit. Alright, let's get the bumper off. I took the lights and everything. We'll take this. Alright. And I don't know if I, mentioned it earlier. We fixing to be hitting up O'Reilly's. We fixing to be ordering all types of car parts. Let's get over here on this computer. And we're gonna go to the body station. You know what? We're gonna go one step further. We're gonna go with some aftermarket body kits, which is that for real? Hold on, wait a minute, guys. I accidentally hit the wrong button. It's only a hood. That's weird. Well, we'll get the aftermarket hood, whatever it does. So, computer keeps crashing. Sorry, guys. It keeps backing out on me. I'm gonna get a new front bumper, new door. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I could just fix it, but you can't replace these headlights, so we're going to go ahead and get that and the glass windows. Well, he's going to have a new front door, a front bumper, and a left door. I didn't get an ordering crazy over here. So let's get up in here and fix some stuff. We already got an engine. Actually, this is the same engine that is in that car, but it just doesn't have a supercharger, and we're building this motor for our drag car. I can't wait to get that thing done. So we're going to do what we can to fix all of this. The way it doesn't cost the shop as much money. But we ain't going to charge him for any of this stuff. We're just doing this stuff. And looks like we was able to go ahead and get that stuff fixed. So let's go ahead and add the body parts back onto here. Oh, it's a shaker hood. Okay. I could have put a little bit bigger of a cowl inducted hood on there, but we'll be grateful with what we got in the game. Better than having no modifications at all. And I did message the developers on this game on Facebook, and I asked them about damage, reflective damage on your vehicle whenever you're building drag cars. If you over rev the engine, maybe it takes a little bit of the percentage away. But I do know why they don't have a damage system in this game, because, man, I built my first electric car on my actual offline game, and son, let me tell you, whenever you got at the end of the half a mile and this car like went past the finish line, man, it was wrecking into everything, like losing control and sliding across the road and wrecking into other cars. I was like, oh my god, I'm glad they don't have a damage system, or else my car would be destroyed. Or at least the damage system needs to reflect what you're doing before you go across the finish line. At least, whatever happens after the finish line, it don't reflect on the car. But yeah, it was pretty bad. You can hear all this crashing in the background. I was like, and you can see it too. But let's go ahead and get this car primered up. Oh, look at there, first one, primer. I guess Jamie come out here and got our paint booth ready for us, because normally I got to go through all my chemicals in order to get the paint ready. So we're going to let this primer set in on the vehicle while, in case we scratch it or do anything, it ain't going to matter, because it's just primer. So alright, so let's go ahead and start doing our visual inspection. So even from our visual inspection, we see that it's got a bad fuel rail. Maybe it's leaking. I don't know exactly what's going on with it. We saw the bushing, or maybe we heard it. And I know that I saw that back control arm and stuff was messed up. But let's go ahead, get our XP. This is what increases the rating level of your shop. Right now we are a level 38 automotive shop. So Driven by Christ is making its way up, guys. Every episode we're growing. And and in real life, whenever you're running your business and you're trying to do the best for your customer, look at it like XP. If you got a gaming mentality, whenever you're talking to people and you're doing this, you're gaining XP with the public right there. They're gonna know, hey, this guy's a good guy to go to if I want my car worked on. That's exactly what you want. We'll go ahead and finish the inspection on this engine. I'm really loving how we're able to inspect all these pieces. Son, this mechanic on here's got the gift of the Lord here. He can see through stuff. But anyways, in real life, you're gonna have to take some stuff apart and diagnose it, guys. You ain't gonna be able to just look through a car, but these are the things that you will be searching, all this stuff that's highlighting as I'm going through it. Okay, it's not going to let me check the fuel pump, do the magical turn, and the car's back to normal. Let's go ahead and pull this bad fuel injection rail off, and guess what I have in stock? We're going to go ahead and pull this other injection rail off. And I think I may have an intake. Let's go ahead and look at the customer order and make sure that he ain't asking for no performance. So this boy is completely happy with his car, but we're gonna put a little bit more pep in his step. So we're gonna pull this old restrictive throttle body off of here. This is a good intake. Even the factory LSX intake that they got on most of the LS motors, they're pretty good. You normally don't have to get a bigger version of them unless you're running a bigger cam. Now we're not going to get that far into this motor. We are only going to upgrade the and I could have swore that I had a racing throttle body for this car, but anyways, let's go over here to the O'Reilly's parts menu and see if they got a performance throttle body in stock. Let's see all these parts they got. Let's go ahead and get it down to throttle, and boom, what do you know, right there they got one in stock. So we're gonna go ahead and buy it, get that part on the way, and we are also, I think I've already got some injection. So while we're putting these high flow injection rails on there, now whenever you put larger injectors into a computer or into a motor, you are gonna have to tune the computer, guys. You can't just throw, Lord, I know, you know what, guys, we're gonna do this. You know what? I know this is our engine for the drag car, but hey, we're trying to bless somebody today. We can always replace that later. So we're going to pull this off of our drag car engine. I ought to pull this supercharger off of there, but we ain't trying to kill the boy. So, because you already know, kids, whenever they get behind the vehicle, they will test the limits. So, I'm going to respect God's wishes and not send this kid out of here with a 1,000 horsepower vehicle that he just bought. But we are going to increase his gas mileage and performance a good bit. Let's throw these injection rails on here, and alright, O'Reilly's just dropped off the parts. We're going to go over here, swoop them up at the back door. Jamie with all that hollering in the background telling me I got parts and stuff. Alright, and look at that good throttle body, boy. You know you can move some air through that. It's way bigger than the stock one. So more air, more fuel, more power every time. So we got that. Let's check the ignition system, and oh, look at there, we got some We got some doo-doo coals in here. So you know what? Let's go ahead and do a full electronical inspection. Thank God my OBD2 computer can actually power up the ECM without the battery. Okay, so this car is gonna need a tune-up. It like this kid, hey man, he's gonna be able to tell a major difference. I bet you he used a half a tank of gas getting over here. So let's go ahead and pull these coil packs out. What are you thinking, guys? Y'all think we should give him the performance ignition coils, go all the way, or are we just gonna go half-tailed with some stuff? We're gonna go all the way today. We're gonna get them performance ignition coils. And we at Driven by Christ Auto, we do not use just your regular Mickey Mouse spark plugs. So we're going to put the good stuff in. We want a quality spark. This is the only thing that ignites the air and fuel in your engine. So it's always good to have manufacturer's spec quality spark plugs. So Honda likes NGK. Dodge likes Champion. I mean, a lot of people will argue with what plugs, but go into your owner's manual or if you want to buy a Chilton manual for your car, well, it was Chilton back in my day and my dad's day, and now they're Haynes manuals. Or you can go one step further and do like I do. Sorry guys, I had to get some water. And actually order the actual service manual from the dealership. A service manual is basically the dealers or the car manufacturer's instructions on how to fully take apart this car all the way and put it back together again. It has all your torque specs. Every piece of information that you could ask for is in the service manual. So them Haynes manuals are pretty good for basic mechanic work, you know, tune-ups and stuff, but if you really want the specs for everything, a service manual is the way to go. Alright guys, we got to order another box of spark plugs, and we're going to get these ignition coils. And I think they should be able to run this stuff over here pretty fast. So this is just spark plugs and ignition coils. You know, thank God on the game that, you know, the one spark plug works for all vehicles, but in real life that ain't going to be the situation. So we're going to get a box of 20. And we need ignition coils, which you can find ignition coils in 2 different places on here. If you want the performance ones, we're going to go ahead and get a box of them too. 20. Well, actually, it's 24 because there are V12s on here. So, like I said, we got money. We're not worried about that. But, you know, be conservative with your money in your real business. I know you want to keep stuff in stock, but anyways, on the ignition coils, if you want regular ones, you got to go to the electronic shop. If y'all are doing this and y'all are trying to save as much money as you can for your shop, but you know, we're trying to bless people today, so we're going with the good stuff, which is going to be in the tune-up menu. So just wanted to point that out if y'all are having a hard time finding things. But anyways, let's while we're waiting on those parts to get here, let's go ahead and get finished with the rest of our diagnosing. Where is the parts menu? Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta click on the engine. Okay, so we're gonna do a compression test. Engine needs to be complete. Now, you should be able to do a compression test with the engine the way it is right now. I don't know why it's doing that, but we'll go ahead and hit everything with our electronic meter. And I know what it's looking for. It's looking for the battery. Duh. Engine can't turn over without a battery, genius. Alright. Looking like everything's coming back pretty good on that. All yellow and green. So electronically, this car is sound. We're going to keep that battery on charge. We're just going to throw one of the new ones in here real quick. Right here. You don't have necessary, Lord have mercy. I know. Oh, I'm thinking of my game. I got like 20 batteries in my shop on my other game profile I have on here. So, or my other business, I should say. All right, so we are gonna have to use this. It should be charged up by now. Let's see what we got. 100% battery. Yay, it's already charged up. So, alright, you just heard that. Parts got thrown out the back door over here. Let's get them from our little box. Alright. So, we got our plugs in. Let's go ahead and slap these things in and do a compression test real quick. God forgive me, guys. I don't see that well. It's hard for me to see that cursor sometimes. It's so small. I have keratoconus in real life in both of my eyes. It's a rare eye condition, and I'm legally blind in my right eye, and I thank the Lord I got just enough vision in my left to drive in certain conditions. You know, if it's raining and storming at nighttime, I literally just have to stop. There ain't nothing I can do. I just can't see. I've actually slept on the side of the interstate before, which was quite peaceful. I didn't think it was going to be, but it was pretty nice. Having the hum of that motor sitting there and the warm, I don't know how you can say it, warm, cool air mix from the air conditioner and the heater on in your car makes everything pretty dry, and then you're hearing the sound of that rain hitting on the car. Oh yeah, you're going to be going right to sleep. Alright, so I think we got everything in here where we can do a compression test now. So let's see what we got. We're going to pray for no engine problems. Let's see what we got. Oh no. Well, guys, it's not looking good. We got a bad camshaft in it, so we are going to be getting down into this motor, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and pull apart what we've already put back together. That's what I get for not doing my diagnosing before we even started on this thing. Remember, guys, diagnose the vehicle before you start. That way you know exactly what you're up against, and you're not doing extra work like I am right now. Pulling everything back out that I just put in. I don't think we're going to have to take the ignition rails out. I don't even think we would have to pull the spark plugs on here too, but I know we're going to have to pull everything on the front of the car. So let's go ahead and we're going to pull the coolant out of the system so we can get this radiator out of the way, and it'll give us more room to work with. If there's something that you can do to make your job easier, do it. Like, can you imagine working down here in this little space trying to get go ahead and remove the fan shroud out of the way. Hold up, guys. Go ahead and pull the cooling fan assembly out of the way, disconnect your radiator hoses, and slide it out of the way. Look at all this room you got now you can work in. Shoot, if you wanted to, you could, look at all that. I mean, if you wanted to, you could literally pull the front bumper off and do all the work to the front of this motor that you wanted to. So, yeah, we got plenty of room. Let's go ahead and get this tensioner off. Get our belt removed. Wrong belt. Sorry, guys. We're going to get this other tensioner pulley loose. Now we should be able to start removing belts. There we go. Alright, now, come on. Alright, we got a lot of idler pulleys we got to take off. Well, that camera moving around like that sometimes gives me motion sickness, boy. We got a rusty bolt here. Better watch it, boy. That can cause some problems in your day with rusty bolts breaking. Be having to break out the drill and the tap and everything. Alright, got to break out the big boy tool for this. This is the harmonic balancer bolt. I'm going to highlight this in every video. This is going to be the hardest bolt to break loose on a real engine whenever you work on it. And the hardest one I've ever encountered working on a real vehicle, if they're still around in y'all's time, whenever y'all get ready, whenever you work on a rotary engine, whenever you take apart the big nut, there's a huge nut that holds that motor together in the back. It requires literally a 1-inch impact and over 260 psi of air pressure to get this thing loose. If not, you're going to have to get a diesel tech torque wrench and break this big nut loose. But look it up if y'all are wondering what I'm talking about. It's called a 13B, rotary engine. It was made by Mazda. They got a 12A. They got 3 rotors, 5 rotors, 6 rotors. You can just keep sandwiching these motors together and making them bigger and bigger. They're really cool how they're designed. I like them. They're unique. They don't have pistons in them. Well, we see where our destroyed camshaft is. So let's go ahead and hook this guy up with new timing belt. Well, the timing belt is really bad off too. So we're gonna give him we're gonna get him a Gates series timing belt. But hey, guys, we're gonna go ahead and do it. Since we already getting more fuel, we're gonna go ahead and get this car to breathe too, son. We fixing to put some Brian Tooley cams into here. I love BTR truck cams. If you want a good chop in your idle, go with a BTR stage 4 truck cam that comes with the valves, everything you need to assemble. And Texas Speed also makes some really good cams for the LS motors and the V8s. I had a Dart racing cam. I used to have a 89 Chevy truck that was lowered, and it had a 383 stroker in it, and it was all Dart. It had Dart heads, the high-rise X intake manifold. It was all Dart, and the cam was okay in it, but the chop from a BTR or a Brian Tooley cam is like, you can distinctively tell Texas Speed and Brian Tooley from across the parking lot. Believe me. So let's get over here and order these performance camshafts. And it's going to be the camshaft for the V8. So it should say camshaft V8. Let's see. Just straight V8, nothing else. And whoo, Lord, these cams are $660 a piece. Jesus is blessing this boy today. So $2,244. O'Reilly's is smiling right now, son. They are just big cheesing over that one. So anyways, we got to wait for our parts to come in. They're going to run us our timing belt and stuff over. So well, let's go ahead and come on. And I should already have the exhaust, but you know what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and raise this car up, because if we're adding more air, hold on, let me let this rack quit running. If we're adding more air and fuel into this engine, if you want to complete this power, you're gonna need to open up the exhaust. So we got to get better exhaust manifold. Let me go ahead and tag that. I'm gonna need 2 of them, 2 of them, 2 of these, and if I can get the camera to do right, 2 of them and 2 of those. We're gonna get him a full racing exhaust system to go with his upgraded packages that we're giving him. So let's go ahead and take all this factory quiet exhaust system off of here. Let's Son, this dude's gonna be shaking the walls whenever he pulls into places. He's definitely gonna be an attention getter now, because his neighbors are gonna love me. Alright. I don't know why it wouldn't let me take that muffler off. Maybe I was too far away from it. Alright, so we got that out. Alright, Jamie just let me know that they dropped off our performance parts, but we're gonna go ahead and remove the intake. Lord, I'm wearing O'Reilly's out today. This guy also said that he was gonna need brakes too, so we're gonna go ahead and go with the slotted and drilled rotors. We ain't gonna go with carbon ceramic yet, because that's gonna be a little bit too much for this car. That's like something that you would use on a drag car that's going over 200 miles per hour. But we're gonna go ahead and get 4 of them. We will upgrade his rotors to a ceramic coated rotor, that way it can disperse heat. I think we already got brake pads, so we're gonna wait for them rotors and stuff to get over here. So let's go ahead and start pulling off the tires while O'Reilly's gets all that together. Brakes look fairly decent, besides the pads are shot. Alright, I'm gonna kind of go through this fast because I want to try to get all this in on one episode. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all are already familiar with pulling apart the car. I'm just going over things that I would do in a real shop. Guys, whenever you're checking out the customer's vehicle, always check their tire pressure. I mean, sometimes the biggest thing that can cause pulling and to left to right, or even horrible gas mileage, is just the simple fact that you don't have the correct tire pressure in there. If the vehicle has been modified with aftermarket tires, normally what I do is try to run 10 pounds below the max inflation. You know, whatever the tire is recommended, unless it's got mismatched tires on there, then you got to go by the door specs. You know, whatever the door specs say is what you want to go by, unless it exceeds the maximum volume of the tire. So you never want to overinflate a tire. It will have all that information on the tire itself. Whenever you look at the side of it, it'll say max inflation. So check that for your customers too. It can be just something really simple. And let's get this thing up in the air, that way we're not killing our back this morning bending over. Alright, I saw that control arm in the back. Ooh, we got a bad brake shield, so we're gonna have to pull this axle hub out of the way to get the shield off. We're gonna fix it. Whoa. Yeah, we definitely gonna have to fix these leaf springs, because he's gonna be rolling out of here with probably an extra, possibly 200 horsepower to the wheels, and it would have broke this rusty stuff, son. It wouldn't have made it. Make sure I mark that. We're going to try to fix this stuff, but hey, parts can fail, so we're going to go ahead and mark it and prepare for it. We got some bad coil springs up here. Let's get back over here. See this, and that. Alright, let's go see what we can go fix. Whoop, wrong way. We're running through the shop today, boy. Alright, we are going to be able to use his factory throttle body and stuff again. You know, we could have tried to fix his camshaft and go ahead and run it through the CNC machine and polish it out and get it back to spec, but hey, we want to see a smile on this kid's face, and I know whenever he hears this thing crank up and it sounds like it's about to die because of the lift and the duration on this camshaft, oh yeah, he gonna be happy. but we can reuse all these other parts that are coming off of his vehicle, so nothing's gonna go to waste. Alright, got that going. Trying to go through this, guys. If y'all want to skip through this part, I know this is annoying, but you gotta work on stuff. You gotta be able to fix it. You gotta get good at this game. This right here will make or break you in this business on this game. Alright, so we couldn't even refurbish the crankshaft anyway, so it was literally that bad. Alright, let's alright, cat, you better calm down. I got some wild cats up in this shop, son. Y'all don't see them, but they be up underneath my feet all the time. Go on. Alright, so we got our new rotors in. Our rallies dropped off everything. Let's go ahead and put these racing deals on here. Now, we're going to ceramic coat his brake calipers. So I would think of the name here shortly, but alright, let's see. Here we are. And we're going to go with a chrome finish. Go with that bright red chrome. Yeah, look at that inside. That looks good there. Paint it. Alright, back out. Try to do this as fast as possible. Come on, game. You got to keep up with me. A little bit slow today. Normally whenever I click on stuff, it's like right there on it. I may have to pull the covers off of my PS5 and make sure that we ain't got no dust getting up into it, because I know if things start getting hot, the performance drops drastically. Alright, so let's take a look at these new ceramic coated brake calipers with new wheel cylinders. Woo, yeah, that looks like some racing brakes. And you know what? I think we're going to actually hook this guy up with some new rims too. We're going to go with the original 5-star rims, but we are going to stay with the factory specs for the tires. We're not going to get crazy. We're going to stay with the original tire size and everything. Wow, we was able to fix that too. Alright, let's see. Please let me be able to fix. Yep, we got it. Spring. Gotcha. Can reuse that. Got it. Uh-oh. We're going to need that. We're going to need that control arm, guys. We wasn't able to fix it. Let's get over here on the computer. And we'll wait for O'Reilly's to bring that over, and let's see what the factory tire size was. So they are 16-inch rims. So we will go up to, we'll just stay with the 16-inch rims. 235/55. He's gonna need at least 250s on this thing with the power that we're fixing to be putting on it. So 255, 55, 16 is what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and order those tires, and we are going to get him some race tires. We want this boy to be able to hold the road, and we're going to go with the red, the Firehawks. So we know we're going to need 4. They're 16-inch wheels. We need 255 for the widths, guys, and I think the profile was 55. We're going to go with 50s. We're going to give him a little bit of a lower profile tire, a little bit more sporty look. So let's order that. Alright, we got that on the way. And the rims that are really close to the factory rims for this car were the ones that were on my TL. I remember whenever this car first come out and it had the 5-star wheels. So we went ahead and got them. Let's O'Reilly's just is getting over here with our suspension parts. So let's get these tires. Ooh, look at them tires, boy. Oh yeah, he gonna be happy about this. Come on, keep up with me. Oh yeah, you're gonna be happy. Fresh chrome wheels, or maybe polished aluminum. Could be. Hopefully polished aluminum, because aluminum doesn't rust. It just needs to be clean. And a mild form of acid is probably one of the best things to clean non-coated aluminum rims. Now, if they got a clear coat on it, just Windex it and polish it like you would a car. That's the best you can do. But if the clear coat is coming off, you can take some acid wheel stripper and take that clear coat off, and you can take some metal polishing compound, and you can shine that aluminum up to look just like a chrome wheel, and nobody would ever know. So just depends on how much elbow grease you're putting into it. So anyways, let's see what these wheels look like on here. Oh yeah, there you go, boy. That looks just like the factory Camaro wheels. And we got some meat on it too. So he's gonna have a lot more handling capabilities than what he had before. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this part onto here. There we go. Boy, O'Reilly's just loving us today. We done made somebody walk a marathon this morning. And I wonder if we was able to fix these U-bolts. Oh, Lord, have mercy, no. Alright, well, they fixing to do some more walking. Alright, U-bolt. I'm gonna go ahead and grab 8 of these things, because they're always tore up. We'll go ahead and put the rest of this suspension together while they run that over. Oh, wait a minute, we got a bad drive axle on this side. Alright, while they're bringing that over, let's see if we can go fix this. Oh, Lord. We gotta get a drive axle, guys. Hopefully I can catch them on the way of them bringing my U-bolts over. And it looks like I'm going to be able to. Alright, so we caught them. Alright, let's go ahead and slide that new drive shaft in. Well, they fast, boy, today. He just ran them over. He said, I already knew you was going to need it. The Lord told me you was going to need this part. But anyways, alright guys, so let's get it on there. We've got a bad spring here. We are not ready to put on a tire yet. I know you are anxious, but we gotta get this on here. Let's go ahead and snatch this bushing. You see what I'm talking about keeping these bushings in stock? These things are always getting wore out on vehicles. So thank God we already have that in stock. And it's a good thing whenever y'all start building up, even in your real life business, start keeping universal things in stock. That way you ain't got to wait for Mr. O'Reilly's to bring you your parts, which, you know, sometimes can be a headache. I remember whenever I was a store manager, whenever you got a parts delivery person out and you're servicing like 12 different shops, you know, sometimes you gotta wait on parts, but thank the Lord they're right next door. So, there we go. Alright, we're ready to throw this tire on. And I think we actually forgot. Yep, we forgot to do a tire. I remember whenever I was balancing it, I was like, I only remember doing 3. Alright. Man, I love these wheels. These are absolutely some of my favorite wheels. I love 5 stars. And it's really hard to find 5-star rims for a 4-lug car, because I looked for some for my Honda Civic. And I finally found some. They actually come off of an SS Cobalt. Oh man, this thing is looking good already. And that looks good. Alright. So we got all of our other parts. Let's we're gonna go ahead and do a fuel pressure test. I don't think it's gonna let us do a fuel pressure test, but it's worth a try. Yeah, engine needs to be complete. Alright. Let's go ahead and put these new camshafts in. There we go. Let's put the plugs in while we ain't got that valve cover in the way, taking up all of our space. And plus, we want to make sure we don't drop anything down in that cylinder as we're working, because if you do, you just turned your half day's work into probably 2 days worth of work. So very cautious of pulling spark plugs out, and if you do, you need to put something that don't fall down in the hole, but it will at least block it, like a paper towel. I normally ball up like a shop rag and stick it down into the hole, or a paper towel. And, you know, don't shove it down into there, but just enough where it'll keep any debris from falling into there. Oh yeah. I thought they were supposed to bring over the timing belt. Lord have mercy. Hold on, guys. This happens too. You think you get all your parts, and you don't have them. Maybe I forgot to buy it or order it, but that's okay. Because we have 2 of those already. We're just gonna take those from our other engines. We ain't got time to wait on it. They'll deliver those other timing belts later, so we just took this from our other motor that we're building. Alright. I know that radiator is getting on my nerves. It's getting all up in the way, but in real life you would need this room, so we're gonna try to work around it. Put all these idler pulleys on there, and we are gonna go ahead and replace everything with new idlers. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of squealing from an old idler, because they always seem to squeal after you take them apart and pull them off of there. For some reason, they do. Well, it's a good thing we did drain the water, because we had to pull the water pump to get the timing belt cover off. So I was just doing that so I could get the radiator out of the way. So it actually saved us a mess coming out of this motor too. Let's go ahead and slide this belt on. We'll put the other belt on and put the tensioner pulley right here. Like I said, I told you these things are kind of weird. Whenever you bolt them down, they kind of go in at an angle, and then as they tighten up, they tighten down on the belt. And this is just a spring-loaded arm. So, alright, let's put the radiator back in. Drop that. Oh yeah, we was able to fix everything. He's basically got a brand new cooling assembly. We also serviced the radiator, cleaned it out with a radiator comb. That's another good annual maintenance. Whenever you do your oil changes, guys, they make a special comb that is for cleaning out a radiator, and you can still take, because it's made out of aluminum, but if it's not all aluminum, I don't recommend this. Just take some if it's an all aluminum radiator, you can take a mild acid foam or spray and spray on the radiator. Very mild. You don't want anything strong with acid, just enough to break away all the dead bugs that are going to be stuck in the front of this thing. Anything that blocks up this radiator from air getting through it, it will cause your engine to start running hotter. You don't want that. You want your engine to be able to cool itself as good as it possibly can, because the thermostat is only going to allow the water to flow once it gets up to temperature anyways in the block. So, and I'm surprised they don't have a thermostat in this game, or at least I haven't discovered it yet. We may discover that on another vehicle. So anyways, we got this thing put back together. Let's go ahead and do an oil change for him, since we are putting new performance parts in this car, we're gonna run a oil that is it's got ZDDP and zinc. These are all extremely good friction materials. It's AKA called Hyperlube. So they use it in flat tappet cam like hot rod engines and stuff like that. I think, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use this. No, we're not gonna put it back up. We're gonna use it. Yeah, it looked like his oil was fairly decent, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull this oil pan too while we're up underneath here and just replace the oil pan gasket and do a visual inspection on the lower end of this motor, and son, it looks good. So we ain't got no internal engine work that we're gonna have to do. It looks like everything is good besides there ain't no way a rusty bolt's gonna be down here, so I'm just gonna ignore that because that is constantly sitting in oil. So we got a new oil pan gasket on here. We got our magnetic drain plug to catch any metal that may be float. I guess he needs an oil filter too, guys. Hold on. What in the world is going on? I think we got some V8 oil filters. Oh, it's a good thing we did. Our rally's gonna be bringing us an oil filter. So they can just run this over real quick. By the time we get this thing on the ground, you know, they should be already running over here with that part. So we give a once over check. Since we're just doing a fuel pressure test, we're not going to actually turn over the motor, even though it's going to make the sounds like it's turning over the engine. But we have to make sure our fuel pressure, Lord. Alright, well, at least they got our oil filter here. And dang, we are already running on 56 minutes. Guys, alright, we're going to do the fastest put back together. Unfortunately, we are not going to have the time to put the exhaust system and everything back on here. I don't even, you know what? There's just going to be a part 2 to this, guys. We're not going to give up on this customer. I was going to try to squeeze everything in on an hour, but, you know, we got to sharing the Lord and doing a bunch of good, positive things. So, you know what? We ain't gonna rush our rallies. We're gonna wait for them to get over here. We're gonna go ahead and wait for them to get our parts. Let's go ahead and order that exhaust system too. We'll go in our parts menu, all parts. So we're gonna add that to the list. We're gonna need 2 mufflers, 2 of those pipes, 2 middle mufflers. And we're going to need some racing catalytic converters. Alright. So we got them on the way. Or we're fisting to have them on the way, I should say. Back up. Go ahead and make this... Oh, wow, we already... Oh, yeah, hold on. That's the other thing. We got to pull off these exhaust manifolds. Because we definitely... don't need cast manifolds with the cams that we're fixing to put into here. We need all of this airflow. So, we got to get some of this stuff out of the way, guys. This is just too much stuff in the way. I can't even get to what I'm working on. Alright, there we go. Sometimes you got to remove stuff. But alright, so we got the exhaust off. We'll go into our parts menu. We're going to add that. We're going to go ahead and get the exhaust manifolds. We're going to get 2 of them. Alright, so we're going to wait for our racing exhaust system to come in on O'Reilly's. This is going to be, I'll catch y'all again in episode 2 on the customer's Camaro. So, you know what? Episode 2, I'll catch y'all there. Later.